Are we on? Tori, can you hear me? Things are
I
very things are very weird today.
You have a
Uh
very long delay between your mouth and the words.
do you know what I think? Maybe I'm on the weird Wi-Fi though. No, I'm on the right Wi-Fi. Okay, we're just gonna do the show. I don't know what the hell's going on. Tori, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
How's my delay now?
It's okay. How's my delay
It's
now?
not it doesn't seem great. It doesn't seem great.
No,
You
it's
know
pretty
what?
bad.
You know what I did? I installed the air conditioner here and I have to keep the window closed, and because this is like an old school condo, I think it's like where the Wi-Fi is, it's like behind a real life brick wall.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'm going to have to fix that. But in the meantime, we're gonna soldier on. Tori, tell me about your weekend really quickly. You came over yesterday, watched some hoops.
Some hoops. That's right. That's right. It's good to see everyone on. SARS team lost Florida. I'm so sorry. I hope she's
Yes.
okay and recovered.
She was still sad this morning, and I heard her on a work call, and it's like, this is how you have to be professional. Is like somebody on the call was like an Iowa fan, and she was like, so happy about my Hawkeye, and just saw her had to be like, congrats, and just let the rage just simmer like about neck level. Like, I'm really happy. And then they said something that like again is supposed to be like, hey, let's just all have fun and cheer. But like I guess this person, I don't know who it was, they just go, well, now that Florida is out, you can cheer for our team. And I'm like, that's not how that works at all. That's not how that works one bit.
That's not how fandoms work. That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's terrible.
So shout out to SAR and her Florida Gators who were they were I was shocked. I mean, I'm not a Florida fan, and I was like, I thought they were gonna go all the way. So it is their SAR, and she just said, I am sad.
I'm so
Um,
sorry.
yes, Tori. But you know what? We have had some good things throughout the tournament that I feel like, because we're in a war that no one wants and, our dollar is on fire. We never talk about the good things, which is the tournament. And also the best thing about the tournament, and all the colleagues know this. First of all, what's up, colleagues? Welcome to Friends from Work, colleagues, coworkers. So happy y'all are here. The thing that I love most about the tournament, and colleagues tell me if you guys also like this, I love seeing the small random schools. When you
Yeah.
watch high level basketball, professional basketball, the players all look like they were chiseled out of granite. These are the best athletes on the planet. But when you see all the colleges, they've got unique players, different players that wear glasses, and just like some like chubby white dude that can shoot threes and everybody falls in love with him. And you never see these guys. They're at smaller schools. And there's one guy, Tori. I don't know if you have been following the story of Robbie Avila.
No.
He plays for the University of St. Louis. By the way, the nickname for the St. Louis University team is the Billikens. Do you know what a Billiken is? And I'm telling you now, it is kind of a trick question.
Is it when a pelican has to pay something?
that is a good guess, but it is not an animal. The University of St. Louis, a Billiken is a mythical creature that is designed to bring good luck and joy to those around it. Isn't that amazing?
I could use a billiken around here, dude. So hardcore. So
Yes.
hardcore.
Well, not
Oh,
only do Billikens have a great like
ooh,
aura
you're real
around their
staticky.
team. Am I
Will you put your
staticking?
yeah, put the plug in. Is it in all the way?
Plugs in all the way. How's
Okay, okay,
that?
okay. Yeah.
Is that good? I'm trying
Yeah.
to like not move my microphone. We're gonna have to do a massive overhaul today because I don't know what's going on. Whenever your equipment, you're just like trying to stay still. That's not good. I feel like I'm like radioing you from when the society has collapsed, and I'm like, this is the last radio. I'm in the area
Oh,
known
hello.
as Colorado, or what was Colorado. Yeah. So the Billikens have a player named Robbie Avila, and he went to Indiana State, transferred, followed his coach over to St. Louis, and he's kind of like the Joker is for the Denver Nuggets. He doesn't have the typical build that a player has. He wears thick rec spec glasses, and people are in love with him, and the
That's awesome.
nicknames in love with him. So here is Robbie. Let me. Okay, wait. Oh, Let me start it over. Okay, so that's him. Robbie over at the University of St. Louis. And Tori, the nicknames for this man reaffirmed that we are a species worth fighting for, because here are some of the nicknames that they came up with for Mr. Avila. Shout out to Robbie. Cream Abdul Jabbar, Milk Chamberlain, Larry Nerd, and Slew Alcindor. The nickname for St. Louis University is Lou. That's obviously for Lou Alcindor, which was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's name before he changed it. And there were two more that I absolutely love, Tori. And this is obviously in reference to the fact that he wears glasses. Steph Blurry. Isn't that awesome? That's great. That makes my day. And just, yes. And then LeBron frames. So, Tori, in a world where everything doesn't always go right, we know that my man Robbie was out there. His team did lose, but
oh no.
They lost, but they won their first game, and they played a Michigan team. You know how I feel about your disgusting, cheating university. You cheaters. You guys are really good this year. You guys are really good this year, and it hurts me to say that. You guys are really good.
No, we're super
I will never let that come out of my mouth again. So, Tori, I realize we've got some difficult stories to get to today. So I did bring this back, Tori, just because I think we may need to use it. So you will see this from time to time. Just when we need a reset, okay? But Tori, it's not us that needs a reset. It might be some of the people from MAGA, because obviously they are very pro-military and they want to support our military. And quite frankly, maybe if the left had somebody on our side like this, we would have more traction with our base. So let's look at who the right has fallen in love with, Tori. Okay, Tori, are you familiar with this woman?
I think she's not real.
Her name is Jessica. Tori, you stepped on it. Yes, she is not real, but that doesn't mean that her million TikTok followers did not know she was real, Tori. So let's keep going.
Hey everyone, I am Jessica Foster. This is my TikTok account. Please follow my account. Thank you.
I'm Jessica, and I'm here in Florida as a Trump supporter in college. I voted for President Trump 3 times.
Tori, I had a question about that. If you're in college, could you have voted for Trump 3 times?
No.
That would be really, unless maybe you're getting your 4th PhD.
That's impossible.
It's okay, but look, if we're following fake AI chicks, stop doing math, nerd. All right.
Hi, I am Jessica Foster. Today I met Donald Trump, and I am with him. Foster, here at the White House. It's incredible to be with my fellow soldiers. Come along. We're making America great again.
All right. Now, Tori, that is Jessica Foster. Now, of course, before I play just one of the breakdowns of this video, you know me, I'm always looking at AI fingers. And that last picture, I was like, let's see what the black woman's doing there. Is that a peace sign?
Oh, look at that. I don't know.
First of all,
what's that?
One of her fingers is that's very weird. It looks like Quado from what was that that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he went to the other planet. That's not really a peace sign, but AI is getting better, but not good enough. And so this woman made a breakdown, and I just have it titled for my videos to pull up. It's just called "You Fools." It's great.
and the entire account just was linked to an OF footpick account.
Wait, I'm gonna start it from the beginning. All right, here we go.
I generated MAGA influencer that had over 1 million IG followers, and the entire account just was linked to an OF footpick account. All of those words in that order are something that actually happened. This is Jessica Foster. But in reality, Jessica Foster doesn't actually exist. These are AI generated images. They depict her with all world leaders, and her IG, which has now been taken down, had a
Tori, which army based subgenre of porn of tickle porn is this? And also peep the feet at the end of the bed. We're just kicking it. We're minutes away from deploying to Iran. That is terrifying on if you've ever looked at a breakdown of Iran, it is filled with mountain fortresses on all sides. They are very jovial for that. So like, shout out, they're going in with a relaxed approach. I like it.
a link in the bio to an OF account. And whatever
OF means OnlyFans.
Sweaty guy created the account bamboozled tons of money from the people who were clicking that OF link. Is that a sheriff sticker? How many military awards?
This woman says, Tori, how many military awards does this 21-year-old have? Tori, look at these are like what you would have if you had taken like a battleship into like Iwo Jima and come out victorious, even though you were down 2 battleships. She's like just been tickling chicks. Where did she get this?
Why is Pence in the background?
Did she have?
Wait, what'd you say?
Why is Pence in the
I didn't even notice that. Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, they were like, okay, we have the vice president here who the sitting president literally tried to have hanged on CNN, but they've squashed that beef. And Donald Trump would, he likes to have the cameras on him, but he was like, I heard there's a 20-year-old that's got something to say. And yeah, so this is very, all right, let's finish this.
At the ripe old age of 21, most decorated general of our time in the tiniest skirt. This one's probably the best one. AI has gotten a lot better at hands, but no wonder we're in this mess. If this kind of thing works on y'all.
Okay, and it absolutely does work on them. So yeah,
is that
Tori,
a sheriff sticker? That's so funny.
That was the best. Yeah, I don't know what that was trying to symbolize, but shout out to our girl who was really just taken back. I was like, do you guys really think? As soon as I saw her, I was like, there's no way. But millions of men, Tori, were like, absolutely.
So they don't let you wear stilettos in the army, says Colleen Kennedy.
What about mini skirts, Colleen?
Or the short of a skirt. I wonder if this is so interesting. I don't know if you guys know something called stolen valor. It's against the law to pretend to be someone in the army, the military, the Air Force, whatever it is, because you're stealing the bravery from them. I wonder if they can like somehow arrest the AI maker or charge whoever made this person with stolen valor. Or is this like a First Amendment issue? It's just really interesting. That's really weird.
I mean, you would have to get a class action lawsuit going, and that would mean that the people that would be, behind this class action lawsuit would have to unjizz their keys on their keyboard, because these men have been cranking it to Jessica and her foot pics. They don't care. A lot of them probably don't want to even acknowledge. They're like, whatever, buddy, you got your opinion. Ain't nobody coming after old Miss Jessica. And it's not like once she was AI, they had to take her down. They did not like stop following. They were like, we'll see. That's my baby. All right, Tori, let's get into our first story of the day. We got lots of great stuff to have a chit chat about, my darling dear. All right, Tori. We are talking about let's have a talk about what's going on at our airports. Do you have any friends or family that have traveled recently?
No, but I'm supposed to go on to Passover, okay? And I'm supposed to leave on Thursday the 2nd. And I really don't want to go because of all this ice, the delay. I mean, the things I put, you can look at my Instagram at I am Tori Schulman, and someone goes, I bet within the first day we're going to see ICE doing something stupid and trampling someone and taking someone down. And that's exactly what we saw. This poor woman was trampled and pushed down, and she's struggling, and they're screaming, let her go. And they don't have any interest in your suitcases. They don't have interest in protecting us from airports. They are there with AI technology and facial recognition to arrest people who have been considered illegal. I don't like to say that, but that is why they are there. And it is,
Yeah, you
it
mean
is
for
like,
this, Tori?
yeah, this is it.
Where's your bag?
Can someone call 911? Where's your badge? Can I see? Let me see your badge.
It's okay.
No, can I see your badge? I don't know if that's legitimate. Can I see your badge number, sir? What is your name? What is your name? Where's your badge number?
I want to pause it right there, Tori. Have you seen any Epstein people that have been accused of being in the Epstein files been accosted and handcuffed like this?
No, it's so
This is
ridiculous.
why I have been saying, and I think we are all realizing, and I hate to be such a bummer 17 minutes into it, we are not a real country. We are a young country. Maybe we will develop into a real country. But this is two grown men that refuse to identify themselves, that are dressed like a Coles vomited. They're not in actual any kind of like police attire. And even if they were, they should a police person would be like, yeah, I'm Jackson. This is my partner Shulman. That's their badge number. This is mine. Any problem, come holler at me. This is what I wouldn't tell them what she's been accused of, but you'd be following things about the book. What is the purpose of this? And how, Tori, do we know if these aren't just two guys that her husband or an enemy of hers sent to take her from the airport? How do we know any of this? We don't. Let me finish this, and then I'm going to get your thoughts.
I'm asking for your badge number, sir. What is your badge number?
Yeah, so that's that. This is just like we just have now, Tori, just dickheads at the airport. Like, look at this guy. Does this slack-jawed yokel look like he needs to have a weapon of that kind in an area this densely populated with children, grandmothers, people that are nervous about flying, people that are agitated? What skills have they been trained, especially in de-escalation, that they need to be overseeing? What position, what are they doing there, Tori? Talk to me.
Well, Trump said until the Democrats stop the shutdown, they're going to do this. So he wants it to be so bad that the Dems cave in. Now, I want to let you guys know that the Democrats have raised a bill to stop and completely fund TSA. 7 different bills have been brought to the Republicans, and the Republicans have shut it down 7 different times. It would not only fund the TSA people, it would open up and the shutdown would be over for DHS, and Republicans have stopped it. So when I say we are having a shutdown, we're having a Republican shutdown because the Democrats have tried to compromise. Again, few of these people have had more than 47 hours worth of training, like Al, you just so brilliantly brought up. I love that you talked about agitation within a small confined area with that big of a gun. If you go on Instagram too, you're going to start to see them on their phones, them picking up trash. Like, there is no reason for them to be there other than to either intimidate, freak you out, and pull leverage on Democrats to get this to shut down. But what's really interesting is that at the end of one of the seasons of The Handmaid's Tale, agents like these are at airports. And
Really?
Yeah. And people who want to get away are stopped by these agents. And so people are showing the same side by side of the dystopian near future of The Handmaid's Tale being like, I just want my baby and I to get on this flight. And they're like, oh no, you're not allowed. You can give birth. We're keeping you, because it's all about repopulation in The Handmaid's Tale. But it is so eerily similar to these scenes that Margaret Atwood had in, and they continue to have on The Handmaid's Tale, that it's really quite scary. So I'm terrified of going to the airport, and I am a frequent traveler and I've done it a million times. Imagine if you've never flown and you want to go see your sister's wedding, or there's a funeral to be had and now you don't want to be doing this. So this is what America looks like in a dystopia, where we have federal agents handcuffing and choking out women and posing there to scare us. And it is it's what Orwell talked about. I mean, it's just everything we were terrified about, we're seeing now, and they're under trained and they're ready to attack. Those are a bad combination. That's a bad combination.
And a lot of them are undertrained because they are active Nazis, people that affiliate with the Nazi party, and they were then just reassigned, and they were like, hey, why are you guys being Proud Boys and throwing things at immigrants for free when we could just pay you with our tax dollars? Now, of course, because our government is our government, they ended up actually not paying them. Remember, all those articles were starting to come out that ICE people had not received their bonuses. Great. That ICE people had not been paid. Wonderful. But it's just a cycle of just like, why are these people, first of all, if we're paying taxes, why are the things that we're paying for not being funded? That would be
TSA
my number
agents,
one question.
Yeah, they don't have a paycheck for 30 days now, Al. They have just, now we're supposed to give gift coupons to TSA, us, not the airport, or us, like us people that are dealing with unaffordability. We're supposed to give money directly to TSA agents. Like, we are falling apart at the seams. It is very, very, it's weird to see the start of a dictatorship is what we're watching. We're just in that timeline, and that's what happens. And there's military force, and do not think this won't be at the polls. Do not think for a second we won't see this at election and voting polls. For a second, this will 1,000% be put up, which is so weird that every other election until Trump lost was perfectly fine. It's like so bizarre to me. But this is,
and this is so also the result. This is the result of the Democrats not doing anything. By them not going after, they eventually went after the January 6th people, but they never went after the people that funded that. The people, if you looked at a lot of those January 6ers, they literally could not afford to get from their towns in Swallow Fox, Arkansas to Washington, D.C. No shade, without somebody funding that. People like allegedly Peter Thiel that paid for buses, paid for hotels. This is a coordinated attack. Look, even this guy, you're telling me this guy could plan. Look at his face, Tori.
I know.
Look at that man's face. Could that man plan to get from whatever couch was laden with Coors Lights to Washington, D.C., coordinating overnight travel, coordinating hotels, putting down credit cards? Could him, and he's one of the top ones, he was able to get a gun from the government. You're telling me people less than him were able to get to D.C. en masse and move in one force? This has all, in my opinion, been coordinated since day one. And I think that suspicion that I have is at least valid enough for the Democrats to have looked and just followed the money. Who paid for this? What should we do? Can we make a public example, not with something violent, but just with a trial? Those things that this country is supposed to be based on. Could that have happened? But nothing happened. They allowed a felon to get back in office by running a man that was too old. And here we are, Tori. Very frustrating. Okay, we need a Marco. All right, we need to get that. We need to clear that. And then, Tori, let's get to this.
That stresses me out, man.
It's really bad. A mutual friend of ours, we'll just call her A, even though I don't think she'd care if her name was on this podcast, but she has been texting SAR her issues at the airport trying to get back into this country, and it's laden with 3-hour waits. And this is somebody that went to the airport 4 hours ahead of time, and they're texting us saying that they don't know if they're going to make their flight. So if you do have to fly, like a lot of us do, absolutely have to, you need to double the time that you think you'll need, and then maybe double it before that. I would say if you have like a noon flight, you need to be at the airport at 7 a.m. minimum, maybe earlier than that, because this is only going to get worse, especially on weekends, 3-day weekends, stuff like that. What are you thinking, Tor?
There is a little loophole that I told someone about, and it has been working, and I want to tell you guys about. If you have TSA pre-check, if you go into your like United, Delta, and Alaska, I think it works on one other one, you can do you hit opt in for TSA touchless.
Yes.
You have to put your passport in, but I did this, and apparently it's supposed to make at least the waiting for TSA a lot smoother. I can't help you with the ICE agents because that's absolutely terrifying. But if you guys do have TSA pre, I would opt in on that if you do have to fly. I'm just so not looking forward to this. I'm wondering if I should cancel my flight. I do appreciate everyone saying my hair looks good.
Your hair looks amazing today.
It really does help the whole situation here. It heals me. It feels me, and I wanted to say thank you. I did hear this, Brandon. They've been canceling clear lanes at some airports, but that TSA,
really?
Yeah. But again, that TSA touchless is like a little loophole. So see if you guys have that availability, because that's what I'm going to try and do. That I just, let me just say this: the merger, the media takeover, now the airports, the way we travel. There's not a lot of spaces, Al, left where things haven't shifted into a scary, pre-told, militaristic future. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of places you can go where the influence of this man and his bleeding of the dictatorship that he wants has not flooded. Even television, I'm talking, whatever about the merger, I'm talking about comedy. I'm talking about the doctors. I'm talking about RFK being in charge, Hegseth, the war that they are now trying to negotiate out of, apparently. We've lost any spaces of sort of not him, not feeling this fear, which is what they want. Terrorism is called terrorism because of terror. You should feel fear. And there is a sense of a militaristic America that we've only portrayed in the movies that is coming true. So
right.
It just feels like a tightening, like a contraction of where you can be to feel like you have rights and freedom and like she's saying, where's your badge? By the way, if you see this at the airport, I hope you take your phone out and start doing that like that woman did. Remember how important that is. The video means everything. So get your phone out, ask for the badge, be pushy, and you're protecting, you're really saving someone if something goes down. So,
well, Tori, let me say this, because I totally agree with you, and what you're saying is to be brave and take your phone out. Here's my other side to this: as we start to put together all the collective experiences that we've had throughout the last couple of years. You're talking about TSA touchless, which I am a member of. That was my one secret for getting through the airport, and you've blabbed it. Thank you. But on a serious note, they have this at stadiums. Remember that all these things are connected, colleagues. Remember when that one F-head of a TSA agent recorded that woman in Minneapolis, and he says, "Now we know where you live. Now we know who you are." Well, how did he do that? He was just recording her. How would you know her name?
Yeah, they're on databases.
They've been wearing those Google glasses
with the facial recognition.
And when you go through TSA touchless, I just stand there and they take a picture of me and they know exactly who I am. So now, if you're at the airport taking pictures, as you should, like a true American, like a human being, forget being an American, like a human. Now, it's a valid concern that you're on a list. I would say it's a probability.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You're not noting who the dissenters are, who the
Yeah.
organizers, the local community organizers in Minneapolis and the No King's Day organizers. You think they don't know who the F those people are?
No,
And you
that's
think
what they said.
that's who they're going to come after? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you see a lot of them on their phones, the ICE agents at the airport, and everyone's like, are they just on their phone for like scrolling? It turns out they're all equipped with AI facial recognition, and they're all on a database of like, that person is, that person isn't. So I went with someone to Vegas and they requested their photo not be taken. And you are allowed to request that because he didn't want to be part of the database. But at this point, they know so much about you that it's almost impossible now to like leave your house if you are trying to get a visa, even legally, because they're out to get you. They're out and they have your name, they have your face, and they will show up. So again, not a lot of spaces in which I can feel comfortable. Ooh, you got a lot of static.
Oh, I'm not moving at all.
I know. Okay, you're good.
Okay. I'll
so
say
yeah.
this too, Tori, in terms of the facial recognition. Guess whose company came up with that? Palantir. That's Peter Thiel.
Yeah, Thiel's got lots
guess who
to do with
delivered us this fake vice president? He marched JD Vance, pre-Smokey Guyliner. This is old school hillbilly elegy.
Yeah,
JD
he was
Vance.
in Yale when he saw him. And
he took him there. And remember, JD Vance, we were on the air when they were talking about you were a big Nancy Mace person for vice president. No,
Huge.
at no point were we talking about JD Vance, a senator that was underperforming in a blood red state like my home state of Ohio. He underperformed. He's never served any type of office before this. He was handed a senatorship. And after that, all of a sudden, he's the vice president out of nowhere. And who's behind him? The weirdo, maybe the strangest looking man I've ever seen in my entire life, Tori. Peter Thiel is have you ever seen him?
Yeah.
He's really off-putting. He's they try to put him on Joe Rogan a couple times to filter him to the masses, but they couldn't even like normalize him. Of course, I remember I did see a clip where Joe Rogan goes, "You didn't go to the Epstein." Of course, he's kind of leading him to clean him up. He's like, you didn't go to the Epstein ranch after he was convicted of being a PDF file." And Peter Thiel goes, "Yeah, I went after." No follow-up question from Mr. Rogan. Wouldn't you think, as a professional interviewer, if you weren't compromised, you would say, What were the circumstances of that? If I told you this weekend, Tori, that I had gone over a convicted PDF files vacation home, would you have a follow-up question or two as to why I did that?
No, but they're protected. I mean, of course I would, but they're protected. These are protected people who got front row seats at the inauguration. Remember who was sitting in the front row? It wasn't politicians. It wasn't people that give their life for this country. It was Mark Zuckerberg, Bezos. It was all those types of people. Peter Thiel, the digital Silicon Valley folks that gave all that money, that helped with the ballroom that still hasn't been built. And because of that, what's the quid pro quo? They get protection. They are safe from that follow-up question. But
and Tori, I'll say this, since nothing is a conspiracy theory anymore, can we stop with the whole they're building a ballroom and have a little chit chat about what else they might be building there that's taking so long? Sarah and I live a couple blocks from two different apartment complexes that they have started from just an empty field. And now there's, 33 floors. You can see the retail space is almost ready. And they've done that in 6 months.
Yeah, there's something
what's happening underneath that ballroom site.
And
I'm really interested in that.
Right. And famously, Hitler had a ballroom placed, and underneath the ballroom was the bunker. So a lot of people believe there's a bunker or someplace safe that Trump is building underneath that. Again, that is a very famous rumor. That is all alleged. I haven't said that. But for someone who literally Trump's job is to build buildings, his entire life was real estate and tall towers and big places. It's a little absurd that that ballroom has stopped any kind of moving forward in any kind of way where that, I mean, that's his only credential was I can build things.
Right.
So
And
it's,
it's not like it's without funding. A lot of the companies that
yeah,
have gotten the nod were people that air quotes contributed, air
yeah.
quotes, millions and millions of dollars to get that ballroom done.
And like,
Wouldn't you
where did
think
that money go? You know,
where is that money? It's almost like they're taking that money and putting it directly into the ground.
right.
Maybe something's under there that they're building. Maybe they're building from the bottom up, Tori.
Yeah. Or there is a lot, I've heard this as well, that the ballroom was there to just launder money and just to like have a place for it to go. And I mean, I'm not putting out any either conspiracy theories. You guys have been right enough. No, I mean, I'm saying like you guys have been right enough for me to be like, I'm not saying no to any of this. I just know that a man that builds things for a living can't build a ballroom. And that is like,
do you want to know what some people are theorizing is happening there? Is one, it would be a not only a solid bunker,
which they already have. Someone wrote that. It is true. There is a bunker underneath the White House.
That's not the main thing. The main thing is to after they allowed a random South African man to come over here and have clear access to all of our Social Security and all of our most personal financial information. Just some dude who unleashed a couple of 19-year-olds to steal all of that information from all 330 million Americans. They now have that information on a private server there. But because it's the White House, it is automatically a classified document. So you can't go in and retrieve that information. So anything that they are doing there is automatically classified. So we as the public, some nosy Wall Street Journal reporter, they can't have access to it because it's classified. So whatever they're doing there is automatically inaccessible. So it's not subject to leaks, and it's not subject to possible drone footage, to possible any kind of things that can sense things that are underneath the ground or access information to servers that are underneath the ground. That's why they are building it there, and that's why it's taking for effing ever to get this done. They're not even pretending anymore. A third of the White House has been in pieces, and no one even says anything. We're like, dude.
Yeah.
If your dad had a contractor and he did that to your garage and you came back for Passover and you were like, Dad, he didn't do this yet? And your dad was like, don't worry about it. Wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah. And there's, litigation from the Historical Preservation Society because he started construction without talking to them. And remember, excuse me, that's a house that the taxpayers pay for. And that is under federal jurisdiction for the National Historic Preservation Society. And they were not even asked to do any kind of land surveying or to make sure certain structures can be taken down. So now they're stuck in litigation, giving them more time and stalling. So we got just a big hole in the ground, which is a big metaphor for what we're literally dealing with in this country.
All right. Well, Tori, let's talk about something else we're dealing with, and that is this war. That's right. Tori, if you did not know, we are at war with Iran, and it's not going great. Well, I guess that depends on who you ask, because Trump says he's had very productive conversations, and Iran wants very badly to come to a resolution on this. And there's a little bit of a miscommunication because Iran said, what talks have we had? Because we haven't been a part of any of those. So, Tori, what do you think about the idea that Trump is telling the American press, the American public one thing, and Iran, who doesn't have any such beholdings to continue that lie, has been like, we haven't talked. What up with that, though? What do you think?
I think he's trying to show progress. I think he's trying to get those polls up. I think he's trying to somehow make this war popular. That's what he likes. That's what he wants to see. And it is overwhelmingly unpopular. I mean, incredibly unpopular. So in the New York Times today, there was a quote that said, Ooh, you're so staticky. Woo!
Really? I'm trying to
Hold your
not
mic.
move.
There
I'm
we
not
go. There we
moving it
go.
at all. It's so annoying.
I know.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's just he wants this over, is what they're saying. And so he is starting to try and negotiate the end of the war with Iran. And we still don't know why we were in this war with Iran, other than sort of what Israel wanted. But yeah, I agree with, is it Jag who said that? Oh no, Brandon. I think he's also trying to calm the markets down because those have
Yeah.
gone crazy. W says he's buying you a new microphone, and we need to get out a new computer.
This is a brand new mic, and I got a brand new. I'm using my Mac Mini. I think costs $3,500. I don't know what's going. I don't touch this stuff. It's like all falling apart.
It's bad. So yeah, I think he knows what's bad for business, and this war has not been good, and it's not a good distraction. It's not working. The midterms are coming up. He's feeling a lack of control, and I don't think he wants this to continue. So yeah, I think that he wants this to be wrapped up quickly, and we move on to the next distraction, and that's what is happening, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know who said it.
I don't think if you asked him, he would know why we're at war. You know, I don't think he knows the first thing about what's going on. I mean, I just think this was, here's something flashy. People like war. We'll bond together. They like their presidents. It's the beginning. It's not. It's not working. It's just absolutely not working.
I think whichever colleague was, I don't know if it was Brandon, said this is about the markets. If you notice his pattern, because he said, oh, we're going to chill out for 5 days. Oh, that's very convenient to say on a Monday. You have like, oh, we're talking back and forth. And then Friday at happy hour, he goes, let me tell you something. Come see me. We're going to bomb your eyeballs off. Then we're going to take your, we're going to throw a hammer at you. And then Sunday night when the markets are coming, he's like, man, why are we fighting, dog?
Yeah, that's right. There's no conviction.
So he's got to get he needs to be brave and have his bravado with his base Friday night through Sunday. It's like a contentious parental exchange, you know, with the kid on the weekend. You know, on the weekends, you can let it go and just yell at each other. But during the week, when we got to take the kid to school, let's pretend like we like each other. And I think he's doing that in an effort to just, like you said, keep those markets calm. Because when you start threatening about blowing up the biggest natural gas facilities on the planet and causing damage to that infrastructure that would, I think they said they've already damaged 17% of that infrastructure that'll take 3 to 5 years to fix. When you start threatening to do that, and Iran is like, well, we'll start blowing stuff up too. Guess what? The people that regulate the markets are like, that might be real bad. So Trump's like, we ain't going to do that. But then he's got to also say, but we will. So he's got to do this he's got to walk this tightrope.
But I could.
Yeah, I could blow it up. I could ruin everything. We could be a nation based on, instead of the dollar, based on shout wipes. Just the exchange of hard goods, 2 cans of tuna.
And what he's doing, you know, what he's doing while he plays that game, because it is a game for him, is that people's lives are being sacrificed. So to him, it doesn't matter because I don't think he has the empathy. But the idea of this being like a game is so sick because our men and women are being put into the sacrifice so that he can deflate from Epstein, deflate from the markets, try and change the narrative. It's not great. It's a terrible look for a president to do that. I'm sorry you guys are feeling the commercials. I get you. I hate those, are very frustrating. So is Hegseth's new nickname, everyone's calling him Keg's Breath. I kind of
Oh, that's been out for a while. Tori, I do want to say this as it pertains to our men and women in the service, and I'm sure some of the colleagues saw this on Friday. I saw this story and it was on X. And it was by a father that sent a picture of the Marines, and they were eating steak and lobster tail. And a lot of the comments underneath were saying, thank God we're finally treating our men and women with the respect that they deserve, getting a great meal. And other people that are in the Army knows that that's something way worse. That is a meal that they serve to soldiers that are about to be deployed.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's
someone's
almost in
putting
it's very last meal-y
last meal,
kind of,
yeah, that's what I was gonna
yeah.
say. It feels
And
very
so
last meal.
do you think we're about to invade? Because I don't know if you saw those videos that the Iranians released last Thursday night and Friday, but they were just saying your bombs aren't working. Why don't you come on in here? And their confidence about us putting troops on the ground there is terrifying. They're like, yeah, y'all should come, because when you keep talking, eventually what did they say in that movie, A Bronx Tale, when they locked the door behind those bikers and they were like, now you can't leave.
Yeah.
There's a point where you're going to have to put boots on the ground, and you're not going to be able. And I mean, if you I saw this video which I meant to upload. I'll see if I can I'll have it ready to go for tomorrow. But basically, have you ever looked at the geographical layout of Iran, Tori?
Well, it's very tricky to have boots on the ground there.
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's like Afghanistan. It's a cave dwelling society, and no one's ever won it because they know how to live in that area, and we don't know how. I mean, that's not what we're used to. And the Russians,
Right.
Napoleon, Americans, we failed over and over and over again. It's like no one seems to remember that. And I
Right.
also want to just say this too, is that Keg's breath, he's all about the Crusades, the Christian Crusades, the American Crusades.
That's what those tattoos on his chest, his pectoral muscle is. Yeah.
Right. And you know what's funny? I read today that was like the Muslims won the Crusades. Like they didn't like the Christians didn't win. And I just don't think they read or know enough to realize the history of a cave dwelling society is why we don't win in Afghanistan and why we don't do that in Iran, because it's so tricky. Not only that, the Iranians have uranium, which is how you build nuclear options, and they know where it is and how to keep it. And the whole idea of this is just so scary to anyone whose son or daughter is going in there, because there's no plan. There's no plan.
Tori, can you talk for 30 seconds? I want to pull this video up so that, because if you or the colleagues, because I definitely had not seen this video, I think that we just look at the Middle East as all kind of like one kind of land mass. And we have to understand that Afghanistan and Iraq was like flat desert. Iran is not that. So it's important, just if you could talk, which I know you can, for 30. Yes, let me get this video up.
Okay? I'll talk about the Air Canada flight. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a crash this morning at LaGuardia Airport between an Air Canadian flight and a truck.
I saw that.
Yes, the pilot and I think one other person were killed. It was a fatal crash. And unfortunately, I listened to the cockpit conversation and the air traffic control person, and they ask for permission to go down a certain runway, and they say, yes, you can go, it's clear. And then as they're going, you hear him say, stop, 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 stop. And then you hear the crash. And then you hear, unfortunately, oh yes, thank you, Tron. It was the pilot and the co-pilot. They crash into a truck that was on that, and you hear the beep, like beep, 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 like stop, stop, stop. And you hear him say, I just messed up. The air traffic controller, which unfortunately gives intent, and it gives a lot of where his mind was and what he did, which will be used in court, unfortunately. But I'm sure you guys have seen that. I just wanted to give a few more details about that, and our hearts and our thoughts. And we're so terribly sorry about the loss of the pilot and the co-pilot that have passed away. Glad it was not an enormous blow up and we lost more people, but 2 people did lose their lives in this accident. And it was very avoidable, unfortunately. And the air traffic controller simply said, I messed up. So very scary, and just wanted to give you guys the heads up on that. And just, yeah, I just hate when it was avoidable. It's just so much worse when that happens, when you know you could have avoided it. And he knows that, and now he has that on his conscience, which is very, very hard.
Tori, have you ever been alive at a time where you felt less confident about the people at the levers of power in every single facet. Like no
That's why
matter
starting yeah.
you
No.
know, when you just think about like RFK over food, you know, we just you know, everybody's so happy that we got rid of Christy Nome, but we appointed Mark Wayne Mullen, who Sarah and I were laughing our balls off at on Friday. Sarah does not have balls.
You know,
You
he
know,
believes in dueling still.
yes, he believes in dueling, and just like he's a really, really, really dumb man.
No, he's
And
very
you know, we were
very sad. Yeah.
yeah, he literally said, this isn't even an insult. He said, I know when I walk in a room, I won't be the smartest person there. He is over a staff, Tory, of how many people in DHS? 250,000, a budget of billions of dollars. And this man is just
In
saying,
charge of many lives,
I
you
don't
know?
understand things. It's shocking. So I just don't
In every sector.
Easy to defend and extremely difficult to attack.
Hold on.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
let me
Wow.
okay, let me try and turn this down. I know we're gonna have to move little Marco's shoes. Okay, Tori. So sorry if this is a little loud. Let me turn it down a little bit for you guys.
Yeah, but you're right. It's in every sector. It's like business sector, the war sector, DHS sector, the medical sector, the media sector, the education sector. It all feels
we have Vince
unfair.
McMahon's wife
Yeah.
over the Department of Education, and she was fielding questions from a small man that starts. Everybody knows the "what was we ranked" quote that he asked her.
Yeah.
Before that, he goes, "What's the definition of insanity?"
Oh,
And she
yes.
goes,
A sanity?
"Insanity." He said, "A sanity." All right,
He didn't know
Tori.
the word insanity. I know. I saw
He
that.
did not. He didn't know, Tori.
I
Didn't
know.
know that word.
I know.
All right. This is the video. Just so like when we talk about Iran and when people go, we should bomb them, look at this map.
Easy to defend and extremely difficult to attack. In the north,
Hold on, I'm gonna start it over. Come
narrow
on. Okay.
passes. Easy to defend and extremely difficult to attack. In the north lies the Alborz mountain range. It rises like a shield along the Caspian Sea. In the east, there are even harsher mountainous regions along the borders with Afghanistan and Pakistan. Once again, there are no convenient directions for an offensive, and in the center of the country lie two deadly desert expanses, Dasht-e Kavir and Dasht-e Lut, hellish heat and sand where military vehicles get stuck. Iran is a natural...
So good news, Tori. I don't know what this is. Good news. After you get past the mountainous region, on all sides of the country, there are two hellacious deserts before you get to the center, which is where you would be trying to get the uranium or whatever. There's no way, and I think we know this, that we can invade Iran without incurring incredible amounts of carnage. Incredible. And these are people, and Tori, I had this thought too, because I think we always look at things with numbers. Who's got more missiles? Who's got more guns? Is it crackling again?
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm trying to like not move. You know, how would you fight if somebody was invading your home? As opposed to if you're carrying out a mission that you're contractually obligated to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we never factor in, is that the fear of constantly having being bombed, constantly the threat of being attacked. Once those people finally come on with it, I think that we are not prepared for how people fight, especially when you have people like Pete Kegsbreath saying that they will did you see the quote that he said that they will not what's that word, not quarter, but they will not basically saying we'll take no prisoners, which is of course against the rules of war. They always say leave your enemy and out. When you tell people that we will not take prisoners, you're guaranteeing that every single person will fight to the death. And that's a big problem, not for you, because of course you don't have to go. You're a morning, you're an afternoon weekend talk show host. But there's a lot of real people whose sons, like that guy we saw in line last week at that Trump, whose grandson are going to have to go over there and deal with people that know for a fact that Americans are not taking prisoners. I know that's a real cool UFC slogan. How do you think those people are going to fight then?
Yeah,
And how do you think they're going to treat you should they get American soldiers, encircled?
Yeah, how are they going to treat the prisoners of war? I also want to say a lot of people writing now about Fetterman in the chat. He did cross the aisle as a Democrat and vote against, voted for the War Powers Act that would have restricted U.S. intentions and actions in Iran. His poll numbers have gone to the very lowest that they've ever been.
He also was the deciding vote, just to bring things together, to allow Mark Wayne Mullen to proceed through. So nice job, Fetterman.
Yeah, we don't really know why he's doing that or what he's doing, but I would be shocked if Fetterman got reelected from Pennsylvania. Not really quite sure what's happening there, but he's been pro-Trump for a while now, so it's been kind of a clown show. W says he's a mole. Brain damage. I mean, who knows what it is, but he's making decisions that don't seem to go for him or his party. So yeah, Slapshot just said something really smart, that if we don't take prisoners, the enemy won't either. And that's how you play when it comes to that. It's a very smart way of saying that. They'll fight tooth and nail and to the death because that's warfare. I mean, if you're not going to play against rules, they're not going to either. So yeah, I don't feel good in any way. I don't feel good in any way. I don't feel good in any way. I just said it 3 times, but I just don't have hope, a lot of hope. Now, when things like this happen and we have an aberration president, there is going to be a different president and they are going to reverse some things, we hope. But this, as my dad has always said, it will take generations for this country to go back to normal in some respect. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the mistrust of the government, because we haven't even started the work of the Epstein files. We haven't even gotten
no one's
we haven't
taking
started the work
responsibility.
of have we forgotten that Renee Good and Mr. Peretti were shot in the street? Has there been a trial over that? Has there been an investigation? Has there been an investigation over the girls' school that was bombed? All these investigations we haven't even started. And we're supposed to have 3 more years of this? Yeah. How many more scandals will happen between now and tomorrow's show?
Yeah. Yeah.
We had to cram in last week, Tori, within 3 minutes, Bob Barker being a dirty bird, what Josh Duggar or Joe Duggar, now the other one being a dirty bird. Yeah, no, Josh is the original. Joseph is the 2.0. It's hard. There's a lot of molesters, Tori. Don't feel bad about yourself. What is the follow-up with these cases? We know that there will be none, especially with the Duggars and the Chrisleys and all these right-leaning families that all of a sudden you had nothing to see here. This is why women don't come forward.
It's true. Just to change the subject very quickly, I know that Trump, and many of you saw, unfortunately, Robert Mueller, who served as the head of the passed away. Trump famously wrote that, "Good, I'm glad he's dead. That way he can't start, blah, blah, blah," which was a horrific way of speaking about anybody's death, especially someone in the government. Obama wrote a beautiful tribute, of course, as you should, with respect. But Joe the Tiger King, did you hear what he wrote? From jail, I assume. He wrote, he goes, to Trump's tweet that says, "Good, I'm glad he's dead." He goes, "Man, that is harsh. I wouldn't even write that about Carol Baskin dying." Wow.
When you lost the Tiger King.
You've lost the Tiger King.
You lost everybody. All right, yeah, Tori, we are going to cut out of here. I am going to get my internet, my mic, and everything together. And I'm going to be a new Thurgood Jenkins tomorrow because I am so scared to move. I'm scared to talk, and I'm scared to not talk.
And you're like a little bit blurry.
I'm Tori. I can't. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. I'm sorry. But you know what, Tori? Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow
it is, and I might be there. I might not be there tomorrow, but I might be there tomorrow. I think I have a meeting at 3:30. I think I do, a Zoom meeting. I might not be there tomorrow, but Al
be on the show.
Yeah, I might not be able to be on the show, but you will have Al with his crackling mic and and his low internet.
Way to sell it, Bo. All right. And with that said, I wish I could argue any of that, but I'm gonna fix all of it. I'm gonna do all. I might do a test run tomorrow just to see if I can get this going. I can't live like this, Tori.
We can't
They've,
either.
they've
We
taken
can't.
everything from me. So on behalf of Michael Dean, Tori, my microphone's last show, my internet's definite second to last show. Star staring at me from across the way saying, "You got to fix this." Colleagues, I've been Al Jackson. That's Tori Chauvin laughing at me. Until tomorrow, we'll see y'all.